night. I was gonna pull over, but I called my dispatcher, let them know that I was tired and I was sleeping, and I was gonna pull over, give me about 30 minutes to an hour in. And once I got off the phone, I felt a little bit more weight. I was amazed at how talking will kind of bring me back. So I decided to reach out to my favorite people.
Continue on I-57.
Y'all, there's some things I wanted to talk about with y'all anyway. But I wanted to wait so I could get somewhere where I can turn all my lights on. I ain't know if y'all would really see me. I heard the darkness. But since we can see each other, and I need to talk to y'all anyway. One of the things that's irking my nerves at this current state is Nicki Minaj. As an artist, I ain't never liked her. It's her voice for me. Like, it's hard for me to, and I done told y'all this before, it's hard for me to listen to her the way she be trying to make that little baby voice. I can't stand females that do that. She's trying to make that tough voice and all the other stuff, man. It's a big turn off for me in my ears. So, with that being said, this shit, but it is what it is. I know a lot of people saying right now she back on that shit. And I wouldn't put it past her. Because I see right now she has no understanding. She's doing a lot of weird shit. She beefing with a lot of motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? That's how you do. When you either going through withdrawals or you heavy on it, you know what I'm saying? So for her to be falling out with people and picking fights with folks over misunderstandings on her part and can't get no get right. Like, I can't give you the name of the artist that got the song Broken Barbie or whatever, but it's Broken Barbie, so I'm pretty sure you can look it up. But TD Punch had said something about it. And here come Nicki Minaj out the woodworks. Talking about dude threatening her and he harassing her and beefing with him. So then she transferred her beef over to SZA. Before all this, we know she had started putting everything on Jay-Z. And y'all know I'm not a Jay-Z fan at all either. So I don't got no dog in the fight. But I was looking at the thing and it's like, she was talking about Jay-Z owe her 200 to 300 million. When her shares on the platform that she talking about where the money should come from was only 3%. From what he got paid when he sold it, her 3% would have been more like maybe 7 million. So how in the hell did she come up with 200 to 300 million? I have no idea. That's why I say it's the girl. She's steady hopping online trying to compare herself to SZA. And ain't no comparison. SZA, R&B pop singer. Nicki Minaj is a rapper. It don't make sense for y'all to be comparing. Ain't nothing to compare. You want to compare numbers, it still ain't safe. It ain't even. It don't go in the same category. It's like I said about Drake and Kendrick. These folks pull up and be like, well, Drake got this many. And I'm like, man, you know, Drake got 20-something albums damn near. You know what I'm saying? So for him to have all of his songs, it kind of makes sense. But let me tell you something. When Drake got 20-something albums and Kendrick Lamar got like 6, it ain't even for Drake to have 13 number ones and Kendrick Lamar to have 6 and 7. Because they tell you that if this nigga had another 15 albums,
in 1.25 miles, keep left to I-57 north.
If he had another 15 albums, it'd be a lot more number one. It'd be a lot more Grammys. It'd be a lot more everything that he's doing. Because he's consistent with the material that he dropped when he dropped. You know what I'm saying? I get him and Drake their both. When they drop an album, there's gonna be multiple hit songs on that album. Thing is, Kendrick Lamar don't drop 2 albums a year. Think about it like this. We halfway through the year. It's July. We're just a little bit over half of the year. We waiting on Drake's second album of the year. So when you tell me that this man got this many hits and this many number ones, okay. Look at the body of work. You're doing good. But if you compare yourself to this next nigga, you shouldn't do that because with his shit, he doing better. If you count the body of work. Same thing with Nicki Minaj. It's like, Nicki, you have to look at what SZA has accomplished with her 2 little albums. Just 2. And you, meanwhile, they had like 20 accomplished what you accomplished. Compare it. Because when you see the work that she putting in and the shit that's happening for her, it kind of surpassed the shit that's happening for you on the grand scheme of things. If you're going to compare it equal, proportionally. But I know when it comes down to Nicki Minaj fans, they don't give a damn about none of that because they crazy like Beyonce fans. Let's see what they want to see. Speaking of Beyonce, let's segue over to her husband. With everything else that I tell y'all about that it start happening later on, I got to remind y'all that I have already spoken this, I have already told y'all this, and it's like, it made me look like a prophet again. I'm not a prophet, but I just see shit when other people don't see it. I told y'all Jay-Z was going to end up getting made to take his DNA test, and I'll remind you when I said it. When I found out that Ray Satterthwaite was suing the judges, because I told y'all Jay-Z was wrong. He dead wrong. Everything he doing is dead wrong. He's trying to stop this man, and he using his money to do it. He paying off judges. He doing all this shit. They showing him favoritism in the court system. So when I found out the dude was suing the judges that did the bullshit up in New Jersey, I said, yeah, we're going to get that DNA test now because the judges don't want to be exposed, for one thing. They're going to cave so quick. Because one thing you got to realize with a judge is, once a judge get found guilty of doing dirt, showing favoritism, accepting money, taking bribes, whatever, it undoes everything that judge has did. That's the biggest headache a judge could ever have or a lawyer. Is for them to go back and say, you know what? we gotta let 1,000 to 2,000 criminals out of prison because you took this one bribe. Now it look like maybe you took bribes all across the board. Whether you did or whether you didn't, we gotta look at it like that. All these cases fit to get thrown out because your judgment ain't worth shit no more. It just ain't. So when Jay-Z convinced your stupid ass to take that money, it wasn't worth it. Because you're gonna lose your career. You're gonna lose the benefits of being a judge. That shit go away. All this shit that you fix your life around, that little money gonna disappear. You're gonna spend it. You're gonna have to pay bills. Especially when you can't be a judge no more, you can't be a lawyer no more. All of a sudden, that money ain't what the fuck it was at first. You can't go crazy with it because then you really gonna learn like, hey, where did it come from? Where you get this bread up? You lost your job and you just took a $500,000 vacation. You indicted. But I told y'all way back when that happened, I said, man, they gonna make Jay-Z take this DNA test. Dude was so close. And Jay-Z team pulled out every stop. Let me see if I can break down some of the shit that happened so y'all will be up to speed if you ain't. Ray Mirror is not a dummy. He took the fight to the courts in New Jersey because New Jersey has different laws. Laws like if you don't show up to court, if you don't take your DNA test, then you will be automatically the father. They have child support laws and they have paternity laws that make you get active. So Ray Mirror went to New Jersey and first Jay-Z was like, hey, in order for you to sue me in New Jersey, I have to live in New Jersey. I have to have property in New Jersey. I have to have a residence or something in New Jersey to tie me to the state. And I don't. What they did was, instead of just coming out saying that, is they gave, instead of the Jay-Z address where he lives in New Jersey, they turned in the address for Rock Nation, which is in New York. So the New Jersey judges were like, well, we're going to throw this out. They knew what was going on, but you know how the judges be like, bring me something I can work with. They brought him that address and he was like, all right, we're going to say you live here, so boom, throw this out. Well, they came back and the lawyers did the investigation they supposed to do. They said, no, look, here go his address, Sean Carter, New Jersey. Jay-Z came back and paid the judges again, like, hey, man, you can't prove that's me. They could be any Sean Carter living in this mansion. It costs all this money. I'm not the only rich Sean Carter. So they threw it out again. Like I say, your boy ain't no dummy, so he went through all the avenues that he could, and he got this shit brought back, and then he started suing the lawyers, and all of a sudden it was, you know, he sued lawyers and judges, but all of a sudden it was real easy to say, okay, well, look here, Jay-Z, we gonna quit playing with you, bro. We gonna get you to the 18th of July to take this DNA test. Thing is, until they put the pressure on him, Jay-Z never spoke on the situation. Never spoke on it. But after they put the pressure on him, he came out and he was like, hey, man, dude been harassing me for decades and it's just harassment and all this and that. And I'm like, everybody else, bro, if you think it's just harassment, if you think you're not the father of this man, the easiest thing in the world would be to give up that DNA test and tell dude leave you the hell alone. Maybe you just ain't figured out how you gonna pay people that's gonna get the test and test it, whatever it is. Because if you just knew, if you had a good idea, if you had a good feeling, you wasn't that boy daddy, you would have been took that test. The thing is, I gotta remind y'all, it's not about the money. Even if it was about the money, Jay-Z could still take the test, find out that's his son, pay him off. Let me give y'all some of the links. And this shit is documented. You can go Google it. You can go look it up. You can go to YouTube and they talking about it. I'm going to give y'all 3 things that Jay-Z has done instead of taking a DNA test. He tried to sign dude to Rock Nation. What type of shit is that? This man said, you my daddy, instead of giving him a clear-cut DNA test answer, tell the world, you try to pay him off through signing him to Rock Nation. You know, that's how they do. They'll sign you and pay you so it don't look like the payments is dirty, unclean, unhealthy, for something else. That's one thing. Set up. Boy come outside his job one day on his way home, open up the car, see a pistol laying in the car. He called his homeboy like, hey bro, did you leave your pistol in my car? Homeboy like, nah bro, I never even had my pistol in your car. He was like, man, there's something going on, man. I just got out work and walked out here to my car and there's a pistol in my car. As he talking to his homeboy, police, sheriff department, all these folks swoop up out of nowhere. Whoop! It's a sound of the police. Whoop! Whoop! Out of nowhere. It's a setup. They pulled right up to this man, right up to his car, as soon as he got off work. And I don't even know how they ended up searching the car. But they found the pistol and they was getting ready to take him downtown, book him down on him. And like I told you, the man ain't stupid, he quick on his toes, so somehow he made them go look at the video without knowing how the gun got in the car, but he knowing it ain't his homeboy, it ain't mine, ain't nobody else been in my car. Somebody had to try to set me up. So with that being said, it's, man, look, go to my job, we at the job, I just got off work, go in there, look at the cameras, run the cameras on back, and let's see if we can figure out how this gun got in my car. And lo and behold, they did it, and they see a car pull up out of the blue, jump out, break into a car, toss the gun in the car, jump back in the first car, and take off. Come on now, you try to set this man up and get him locked up and out your hair. That's 2 things dude did instead of just taking the DNA test. This the worst. The boy come outside, jump in his car, bullets start flying. Let me say this again. The boy come outside, jump in his car, bullets start flying. Shot his car up. Tried to kill him. Tried to get him locked away, tried to kill him. Tried to pay him off. I'm just saying, man, instead of doing all this, why not just take the goddamn DNA test? Well, the thing is, now you've been ordered to take the DNA test and you finally start talking. I've been looking online for the last couple of days, trying to see if dude took this test. I ain't found it yet. But I did find something. I heard something about Jay is stalling again. He's trying to get, like Donald Trump be doing. He's trying to get more time from the courts. To take the DNA test. In the meantime, in between time, I think he's trying to come up with another master plan, part 4, what he gonna do to get dude out the way. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, why is you steady stalling again instead of taking this test? Your father-in-law, Matthew Knowles, then jumped on the scene and got to talk about it already. Talking about how you tarnishing his baby girl name with everything you do. Whether you did it or not, you always caught up in some bullshit. And I'm like, I know if you did it or not. But it is, you always get motherfuckers caught up in some bullshit. Now, I'm not gonna say you got hurt per se, caught up in some bullshit, you got hurt per se. Knows how old she was when y'all got together. So people can think they special, be like, oh well, he didn't get with me because I was 16 years old. It was love, it was all this and that. But if you open your eyes and you look at the pattern of you, when I say you, I'm speaking of Beyonce and Rihanna, her age. You look at Foxy Brown, her age. Cherry Marie, her age. What's up with it, nigga? Look at all these females that he's had dealings with, all the way going back to little buddy mama. And the thing they got in common is 16, 17. The big reason why Jay-Z is avoiding this paternity test ain't because he don't want that son and he don't want to lose money paying that son up. Trust funding that son, which you're a billionaire and that's your blood child, you shouldn't have no problem setting him up the way Blue Ivy and anybody else that's your child is set up, Sir and Rumi. Rumi, whatever the name is. However their futures look, but when they get grown, you shouldn't have no problem doing him that same way. If that's your blood child. I don't think you would have a problem with it. I think you gotta, if you did this because the way dude made you man up. The way dude made you take accountability and acknowledge his being. I think the problem is you don't want that hardcore evidence, that hardcore proof that you were knocking that man's mama off while she was a child. Because you got to remember, she was only like 16 when he was born. I think 15 when he was conceived. Jay-Z, he was, even back then, he was very predatory, very pillage. And it never went away. I think if it wasn't for the kids with me, it'd been left up for something younger. Talking about Becky with the good hair. They was wondering about what race she was. They should have been wondering about what age she was. Good hair could have been baby hair. Did that for long for a minute until we get some more on it in the situation. Even if he did get held back, it ain't gonna be too long. It's it's gonna be 2025. As if he did get it pushed back successfully. It's still gonna be 2025. Any more attempts on Buddy Life will be landing your ass under the biggest investigation. And you sweep it under the rug when the police ain't really know nothing about you when it happened. And you being the dude daddy, he want answers. He don't want you in prison. He want answers. I understand it. I get it. I grew up without my father, but I was knowing who he was. By the time I started making headway on finding him, he was dead. Boy, Donald Trump. I told y'all this too. That he was in the Epstein files. That they were gonna bring him out because they don't want their dude to get caught up. Republicans said if they invested. So anything he get caught in gonna make him look bad. If his presidency ends wrong, it's gonna make the whole party look bad. To the point where the world, especially the country of the United States of America, is not going to fool with his legacy. So, the rest of us, I'm tired again. I'm taking that nap. I'm tripping on Trump when it comes down to shit like he got his wife an Einstein visa that she didn't deserve and turned around and let her bring her family over. Now he deporting people for that same shit. He telling people, hey, just because you in America don't mean your people in another country can come here. Come over. Kids. You know what I'm saying? Parents, siblings, whatever. But y'all, I'm getting tired. I'm getting so